I'm not late to the party. I'm right on time. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Sing around with boxes this time.
No, I'm not.
Oh my word.
Thankfully, yeah, this time I'm not futzing around with boxes. This time I'm actually relatively on time. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof. I do hope that we are doing well today. I have a big camera to start with today. That's fun.
Oh my.
I'm big on camera instead of the tiny little camera boxes that I used to have.
Ooh, my.
The TaleSpire stream layouts have changed. There are differences. But yes, I am live on camera. We are live on stream today for session 12 of Shadows of Sorcery. Yes, welcome everybody. Welcome to my joyous players. We are joined today by Lydia.
Yo.
We are joined by Edit Ed.
Hello.
We are joined by the Eldritch lying in Bedmont, who is a little bit fixing microphone problems at the moment. And we are joined by the Space Age Sarental.
Mordors!
Today,
Right in my ears.
we came back from a bit of a hiatus. Last month we did not have a session because I was exhausted, and I think everyone here was exhausted as well, in one form or another.
It's good to take a break every now and then.
It's been a rough 3 years.
It is good to take a break every now and then. But yes, we are back with session 12 today. Last we left off, our party had just finished scrubbing up, scrubbing down, and scrubbing out some goblins. More specifically, one specific goblin that seems to have scarpered from town with various unpaid debts and quite a bit of money owed. As well as Ed having finally cleaned off the extensive amount of mule manure that he fell in last session. Yes.
Is it Mjolnir Force Hammer?
But yes,
Mjolnir.
welcome,
Yes, Mjolnir is Thor.
welcome
is Thor's
everyone.
hammer.
This is the new layout. Welcome to the stream. I spent so much time on the layout for this. I cannot tell you how long I spent trying to get this right, and I am so happy with it. I'm so happy with it.
Is there meant to be something in the bottom right?
I don't know at the moment.
He's
actually.
still trying to figure it out.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I was tempted to put a 1 hour and 30-minute timer in there so that we could remember to take a break halfway through the stream, but I haven't found a timer that looks nice yet. So for now, it's just an empty gear. It might
just
have
need
something in it later.
Like a gear time stopwatch of
Perhaps.
some sort.
Perhaps. But yes, we have the new stream layout, which includes our party's AC and HP counters on the sides there.
Why the hell
right
is
this time?
Isaac's AC higher than mine?
Surely
Because
this has
you're
to
a
be a breach of
barbarian
observation
guild
document, yeah.
and you're not wearing any armor.
That's fair.
I
Yeah.
opened up the stupid bloody.
Oi, Mio, stay out of that fucking basket.
How do you
Yeah.
think your carry does again? I'm trying to update Ingvar, but it doesn't want to update.
Hmm?
I've got
There we
Ingvar's new Hero Forge mini, but I'm trying to put it in, but
When you hit space, there's a little Hero Forge icon at the bottom.
yeah, I've got that.
As long as you've, and then
I can see it. Give me a second.
Did you? Oh, it might also be Lucian has to bring it in as he's a
Yeah,
GM.
I have to bring it in. Don't worry. Or... Yeah.
No,
give me a second.
that's the
No,
same one.
No, it's not. It is different.
No, it is different.
is different?
He's got his boots on.
Oh.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just.
that was the change. We've changed to have boots on.
I give him
Okay.
a shirt. I give him a shirt. I put boots on. I change his hair a little bit, and I give him the right colour eyes.
Lydia. There we go.
There you go.
I see.
I'm finicky about these things. Hush.
Okay, no, on chat's behalf, I do gotta ask now. Saren, what is your dex and con?
My dex is 13. My con is 13.
Okay, so 1 each on those, and then you've got the shield for an extra 2. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That is why Saren's AC
There you go,
is
chat.
so low.
It was worse than I thought.
Your barbarian has a +1 constitution.
Yeah.
He put it all in strength.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got
That's kinda
14
cool, I
strength.
see, okay.
And there it is.
But yes, last we left off, our party was just about to exit the eastern gate of the town of Dre after having discovered an interesting organization of goblins scamming various members of the town. The leader of which seems to have run away towards Daggerfall Pass and the town of North Cragstead. So yes, as our party is leaving the town, it is late, sort of early to mid-evening time, and there is night is falling. Night is falling, but it's still light enough to walk by. So yes, what are you all planning?
I was thinking of taking my right foot and moving it some inches forwards, placing it on the ground, and then taking my left foot.
Surely you move your feet forwards.
Look, we're short.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
We deal in what stride we're given.
You're doing the dwarven shuffle.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, my point is, are you guys going to start moving around, or am I gonna have to throw a
Yes, we'll narrate.
log at you?
We move forwards, Lucian. Yes, we move forwards. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what you need
Rocky's
from us.
attached to
That's
me.
what we'll give you.
Oh god, where am I?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can. There is
That
group
poor-
movement
Oh, there.
now in the game. There is group movement so that you can move
Sweet.
things at the same time.
Yeah, there've been a few updates to TaleSpire.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't want a group move. It just draws a hoop.
Yes! It's a double wheel!
Yes, because you only have one thing to control.
I'm going by the fact the DM was just going, there is group movement, so I assumed there was group movement. Not bad.
I mean, there is, but like it's kind of weird. Anyway, as you exit the town of Bray and cross the rather well-built old bridge that sort of bridges the cliffs that overlook the river, you come to a small crossroads. It's nothing big. There is a path that heads east through the trees, but it seems less well-traveled. And there is a path that heads north. And on the lit signpost, the northern path. The northern signposting states South Cragstead. The eastern signposting is smeared in mud, mostly illegible at this point. It doesn't seem like many people travel that road anymore.
To the north.
North
To the
seems
north?
like the best. To the north. Seems the best course of action.
As your party...
Why do I feel like we've just denied the call to adventure?
Okay, let me put it this way. If you had gone east, I would have thrown a bear at you.
Oh, hell.
We can take a bear.
To the east! To the east!
How big
No.
a bear?
Whilst I may have a trap
you-
for one, we're not using
as-
it yet.
Your party heads north for about 30 minutes or so. You come
Traveling
upon
sideways in Isaac's case, apparently.
a small hut, outside of which is grazing a rather magnificent stag.
Dave.
Food. Sorry.
The stag is not really paying you any attention. The small structure that you have happened upon seems to be some form of shrine. What would you like to do?
It's not
Given
a
that
fire.
this looks like the picture book example of a fey trap, I'm going to leave it the hell alone.
Considering I have no idea what the hell a fey trap is, I'm gonna walk past the stag up to the shrine.
The shrine, the stag pays you absolutely no attention. It is literally just grazing on some of the plant life that seems to be growing around the shrine.
Do I recognize any
roll-
particular iconography?
Okay, very quickly, roll me...
Oh shit, I
Roll
need to
me-
farm a dice.
Use the digital ones.
You can use the
This is
digital
it.
ones, that is true.
Consistently rolled real since day one, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, me. I think I was just going to hang back a little bit in case the shrine decides to explode.
But fair, given this party. Many shrines have exploded more than we would expect. I've got my dice
Statistically,
out.
true.
statistically surprising amount, actually.
I've got my dice
roll
again.
me investigation. For those of you who wish to learn about this.
I wish to learn about this area. Okay, and Debule. You bastard!
Meanwhile, some
Wow.
of us wish to learn and got a 17 total.
17 total? Alright.
15 plus 2.
Gil, you walk up to the shrine. It looks like a regular standard shrine. You're not really sure what it's here for. It's made of wood. You can tell that. Isaac, you look at the shrine. It's old. It's very old, as a matter of fact, but it's well maintained. Someone or something has come along, made sure that it is in good condition at least once every few months, maybe. The wood is aged but well maintained. Inside the shrine is a wooden statue, a wooden carving of a tall, imposing woman, barrel-chested, wearing heavy armor, with well-carved fur around her neck and shoulders. She is holding in one hand a great double-bladed axe, and in the other, she has her other hand at her side, patting or sort of caressing the head of what looks to be a wolf. And you recognize this sort of representation as a relatively not very well known representation of the goddess Dimani, the goddess of nature, of the weathers, of strength within the forests, if you will. The shrine, as I said, seems to be well maintained. It is covered in greenery, but to you, this isn't unusual for these sorts of shrines, especially the ones out in the wild. Even more especially when it's a shrine to the goddess of nature itself. It's kind of expected.
Makes a bit of sense.
So yeah. Do you relay any of this to your party? Are you... No? No? You...
No.
No?
Not a
All right.
He stopped
well-
listening to you halfway through, I think.
I've got a loaf of bread I can offer the deer. Stag even.
He cares more for the deer than he does for the
I
shrine.
heard I've got a loaf of bread I can offer the DM for a second there.
You know, I could go for a loaf of bread because it was the one thing I didn't pick up when I went shopping today.
Oh God, listen.
Oh, goodness me.
I would love if that's the stag's response. Oh yes, I did go shopping. I missed this.
Are you trying to offer this loaf of bread to the stag, Ingvar?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Roll me animal handling.
Is that a 20?
Yes, that's a d20.
Whee!
Most things are.
Oh,
You shove the bread at its nose.
apparently.
Could have been worse. Could have been a nat one and gone up its nose.
Sure.
Mm.
You just
The-
like
the
take,
lads-
you roll
the
on that
stag-
one. You take one hand and hold its mouth open, and then just shove the bread down the throat.
Whoa.
So that's a 5 plus 3, so that's 8.
The stag shows very little interest in the bread. It gives it a sniff, like a snort. Sort of licks it for a moment. The bread gets a little soggy, and then it turns back to the much more palatable, in its opinion, rather tall, grassy stalks that are surrounding the shrine.
Congrats, you now have licked bread.
Add to your inventory mildly soggy bread.
Good lord.
That is, if you wish to keep it.
You can use it in the bear trap or something.
Okay, sure.
Yes, we'll bait the bear trap with mildly licked bread.
Smells like stag.
That's a very refined palate if they're smelling the stag from its spit alone.
Okay. The shrine is, other than what I have already described, relatively plain. If you wanted to, you could offer a prayer, or you could move on. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly interesting here for any of you that are wanting something shiny. So.
Well, you had us and there's nothing shiny here.
Well,
Well, there.
Darwin is going to take an opportunity anyways, just to say a small sentence of, please may we not be eaten by bears on our trip.
Yes, now we know there are bears in the woods.
Are you offering
they-
this as a prayer or just as a request?
I don't know that I know much about nature gods and such to say an actual prayer.
Has everyone left by this point, other than me and Darren?
By the looks
I've
of
stepped
it,
to
yeah.
the side.
I have a
stepped
plus
to the
That's a
0 in
considerable
religion, so
side you've
I'm
stepped
guessing
to,
I
Gilk.
don't know what the usual prayers are.
Fine, they're
You,
happy.
I mean, if you were going to put this out as a prayer, I would have you roll a religion roll. But if you're not, if it's just a request, then
I'll do the standard boilerplate prayer, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, roll me religion real quick.
That is a 12 total.
Okay.
Wherever the heck my dice just ended up, but yes.
Well, that kind of nixes what I was going to suggest, which was trying to help out on that one, but it wouldn't have worked anyway.
I mean, if you like, yeah.
12 and a 6.
As you sort of stand there, Darren, nothing really seems to happen. Gods don't usually sit at these sorts of shrines. They are more for the people's benefit than anything else. But as you leave, you feel a very sort of gentle caress as the wind sort of blows through
Stag?
the trees. And as you turn away and walk past the stag, it looks up at you and it licks your face, a long big stripe up the side. And
Right.
in the back of your head, very, very quietly, you hear the word salty.
That's not a word.
Sorry.
The word salty is a word.
We didn't hear salty. All we heard is
Yeah.
Well, I did say salty. And then the stag goes
we
back
just
to
got
eating.
stop.
The stag goes back to eating its plant.
Okay, continuing along now. We're not going to talk about that.
Nice hairstyle.
Your hair
Overage,
is
don't
now
you
sort
know?
of sticking up at an angle, just covered in stag spit.
Traditional dwarven traveling style, don't you know?
Clearly.
Oh, dearie me.
Following the cobblestone path, or what's left of it. Hey, Sergeant Perry, thank you for the 22 months of sub.
As you follow the cobblestone path, it gets later and later, and the air starts getting colder and colder as you travel further north. You get to
really?
sort of the edge of the forest before night falls completely. You can choose to continue on if you want, but you will be very tired by
It's very suddenly night.
the next
I also know this feeling.
by the next morning. So you can
How do you
choose to
turn
carry
on
on
a
if
torch?
you want.
Right click.
Right click yourself.
Why does that sound like an insult?
I did right click. I got surprise, wiggle, and twirl. I don't have torch.
There you go.
It's in
No?
it's in the lower left, where you've got status, emotes, stats, HP, morphs, and disable or enable torch.
I only have
So-
knockdown available on mine. Oh, it's because of. Hang on, it's probably because it's just
Did
a
you
mule.
also? Yeah. The mule does
There we
not have
go.
a torch.
The mule begins to glow.
You'll have
You
a
guys, as you're at the edge of the forest, you can either choose to continue on across the empty sort of snow-covered plains, or you can choose to camp for the night, which would give you a long rest, a full recovery of everything for now, and leave you freshened up for the morning.
Yeah,
It's up
maybe
to you
not
what you
getting
want to do.
exhausted is a good thing.
In the cold, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Are you
Thorsten is
going
a
to?
bastard.
Are you going to light a fire, or are you going to just lie there in the cold? Are you going to put up tents? What do you
Have
want to do?
tents.
Well,
fire
you
will be a
have
good start.
bedrolls at the very least.
More sleeping bags than tents.
What I would recommend probably is setting up camp over by the stone here. We could set up a fire against the rock, keep us warm.
Do you have
What?
survival to justify that knowledge, or is this actual, like, camping knowledge of yours?
Maybe it's human common sense.
Considering the
He's a
fact that
barbarian.
my backstory is
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
of mountain people,
Yeah, you probably would have this
Um,
knowledge.
I would have knowledge. I would have this knowledge.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe we don't need to justify common sense.
If one of you wants
You'd
to
be surprised
roll
how uncommon
me,
common sense is.
Right, not
if
roll.
one of you wants to roll me a survival check to set up a campfire,
What would that be? A 20?
it would be a
Well,
20.
it's a
Most things
20.
are-
It's a skill.
Yeah.
I meant. Never mind.
Okay, well, I've got a
yeah,
+1, so let's see.
Oh.
20. Dirty
Yeah.
20.
Just casually bounce it off Ingvar, that's fine.
Okay, I've got a good
Oh,
luck charm.
yes. Oh, thanks.
All right, Darren, you pull out flint and steel, rummage around the rocks for a little bit, and
I'll cut down this tree for wood.
And you come up with a few stones and a decent amount of kindling to put together a small fire. It's nothing much, but it's enough to keep you guys warm through the night. Are you actually cutting down that tree, Sarah? Is that
I'm
what
cutting
you
down
want
the
to
tree
do?
for firewood.
All right. Roll me. It's relatively late at night. Kind of difficult to see. The tree's a little bit further away from the campfire than you'd like. Yeah, roll
I
me
have a
survival
torch.
on that as well, since it is. I mean, you can't really hold a torch and an axe at the same time, but yeah, no, you chop down the tree with relative ease. It's not particularly large. It's relatively brittle. It's basically dead at this point. So you chop it down with relative ease. Stack a small amount for firewood for later on. Yeah. The night. Actually, are you guys going to take turns taking watch?
I will take first watch,
Okay.
and I'll tend to. With that, I'll tend to the donkey and make sure it's settled for the night as well.
Okay. The first few hours of the night pass relatively uneventfully. Your party slumbers around you, Gilk, as you tend to the donkey, which... have you come up with a name for it yet?
Nope,
Nope, no name? Okay.
no name yet.
The donkey, unnamed as of yet, slumbers as you care for it, as you work through the packs and stuff. Eventually, a few hours in, you can choose to awake one of your party members to take the next watch.
Isaac.
Okay.
I'm amazed there was even an And he's
Isaac,
gone.
you take second watch. The evening still cold, other than the area right next to the fire. You
Oh, you actually turned the tree into firewood. I've just spotted that.
yes, I turned the tree into firewood.
That's cute.
It's the little things, you know.
Yeah.
The night continues on. Cold still. You walk to and from the fire a few times. Roll me perception.
Oh, that's not great.
10 plus 3, so it's a 13, but that's still not good. That's actually, I think, lower than my passive perception. It might be.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh.
As you
Oh
sit,
no, it's exactly my passive perception.
Well, that's something at least.
As you sit by the fire, the crackling sound of the wood sort of giving off gentle sort of spits and spats. The wood's old and it's been snowing. It's kind of damp. You hear the wind whistling down across the plains. You think you hear some splashes of water. But mostly uneventful by the looks of it. About another hour or two passes. And
Question.
you're...
The cantrip shape water, would that theoretically allow me to feel the water?
Not really. Shape water is more like...
Because it was about changing flow. I was wondering if that flow change was like you're actually affecting it, or you just sort of sense it and move it.
Shape water is you are affecting the water, not you are feeling the water.
Okay, fair.
You're not sensing what is in the water or what's around the water. You are just changing the water. It's a little bit like a very dumbed down version of water bending. Like,
Yeah.
very simplified.
Very, very dumbed down.
Yes.
Good
In which case, he is going to, after having his attention grabbed by the water, he will entertain himself a little bit with periodically freezing a small patch of it and unfreezing it.
Okay.
I'm just imagining one of us opens an eye, like, drearily, and we just see Isaac doing Tai Chi.
Pretty much.
Good God.
Okay.
Tai Chi.
A few more hours pass. It's probably around 6 a.m. at this point.
Do I have fun with my ice sculpting?
You wake another of your party members so that you yourself can get some sleep. Who do you wake?
Just for my own shits and giggles, let's see if I did have fun. I did not. I did not have fun. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's tempting to wake the mule.
Well, Ingvar's
Wow.
currently got his feet in the fire, so...
He's after considering, he's going to say that probably the person with the really nice bow would be a good shout, so he's going to wake Ingvar.
Okay. Ingvar, you get woken round about 6 o'clock in the morning-ish by your compatriot. It's still relatively dark out and
not all-
about.
Don't trip over me.
Walk in the fire either.
You spend a few minutes stoking the fire, making sure it's nice and warm, so that your companions are kept relatively warm as well. After about 30 minutes, roll me perception.
Yeet. Oh, fucking hell. Plus...
You
what's
think
that?
there might be snow nearby?
Plus, so it's 6 altogether.
If only it
Nothing
weren't for that
really
rock.
catches your eye during the night. After a few hours, the sun slowly starts cresting the morning light.
Sunrise.
Yes, I couldn't remember the word.
Where the sun rises.
And
The sun rises?
it gets to about 8 o'clock in the morning. Your party starts to rouse themselves, and the night wanes.
Igbar's just nudging them awake with a boat. Wake up! Hey.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
The square water, particularly.
yeah, I was thinking that the whole time.
Oh, God.
I will gather what's left of the firewood into a bundle, or at least enough for another night, and add it to the mule's pack.
Okay. I mean, You probably wouldn't be able to add an entire night's worth of firewood to the mule without it, like, carrying it on a sled of some sort. There's a lot of firewood there, basically. You cut down an entire tree. It's what you have there would probably last 3 nights at least. You can probably carry enough for maybe 3 hours and a little bit of kindling to light a fire.
Okay.
So if you want to add that 3 hours worth of firewood and kindling, then that should be fine.
All right.
And while Gilk's doing that, Ingvar's gonna... Do I still need the campfire, or...?
Are you going to try and cook breakfast or something?
Your rations.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
The last
If
time
you-
Ingvar tried to cook... The
If-
last time he tried to cook anything, the egg exploded.
I mean, if you want to use the campfire, then yes, you can. But it's really up to you.
Are any of you guys particularly hungry?
Well, it would be morning. We should probably eat something.
There's a crunching
what is-
noise of Isaac already starting one of his bone-dry rations.
I only have 1 day's worth of rations, so we may need to do some surviving at some point.
Ingvar's wondering if that weird clear moonshine's any good with breakfast. That bottle he picked up way back at the inn.
You could try it. God knows what's in it, but you can try it.
I am curious.
It's up to you.
Or maybe you should wait until we get to town for that.
I mean,
Easy being
you've
somewhere
got
safe.
that. You've got that bottle of moonshine. You've also got a bottle of Marin's cure-all. So,
Oh, good lord, I forgot about that.
I just point of advice. Moonshine might be good to sell. Or at least trade.
Ah, fair enough.
And the cure-all might be good for poisoning.
Yeah, to apologize to the person you sold the moonshine to.
It's a shame I left the 30 steel loaves behind.
I mean,
Remind
I'm
me
not
why
sure
we had 30 stale loaves.
that you could have looted 30 stale loaves of bread from the inn. That is a thing.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
I remember
possibility.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one time I rolled 2 nat ones in a row.
I am noting that I'm not seeing the moonshine in your inventory list,
Nope.
Lydia.
Oh no, don't fix this.
It's fine.
That's
It's
good.
fine. It's
Well-
just that I can't keep track of everything that you guys have in your inventory at all times. It's
What?
No, and this is why many
Oh.
campaigns don't have the DM hovering 5 feet behind us character sheet going, oh, you missed this.
well, yeah. I'm just making sure that, like, you guys know that I can see your character sheets, but I can only see a limited amount of stuff on there. So, you know.
I mean, this is
Listen, you're really ruining the like theater of the mind that the DM is meant to be omnipotent here.
this is probably why Ingvar hasn't had armor for the past 3 sessions. 'Cause
Yes.
I've forgotten about it.
Yeah, and that's why I made sure that you actually got someone when the Goblin Tailor made you better clothing.
Okay.
Um,
Is the floor appearing and disappearing for anyone else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
Are you,
Don't
are you
worry about
earthbending
it.
now?
That's me.
Well, I
Don't
mean,
worry.
I do have mold earth, but I'm not using it right now.
So before
Okay.
I've eaten the ration. I've fed the donkey. I am ready to leave.
Ingvar's going to try and put the fire out before we leave.
Okay.
I was just going to watch because this sounds fun.
How are you putting the fire out?
I was thinking with me foot, or maybe
Oh,
just
boy.
Which foot?
the non-wooden foot.
Wait, does that
Um,
mean you're putting all of your weight on your prosthetic at one point in the course of this?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn around and watch this as well, actually.
All right. Roll me survival. Okay, that's a 16. Yeah, you managed relatively easily to like shove some dirt over the fire. It slowly smolders. You almost lose your balance as you're like shuffling dirt on, and you're standing on your prosthetic foot. It's not quite. It doesn't quite fit you right. It's old. It's relatively like not. It's not particularly fitted to you. It was relatively cheap when you got it, because you didn't really have much to your name afterwards. But at the end of the day, you managed to sort of shuffle a bunch of dirt into the fire and smother it pretty easily. And it gets covered over by the rocks as well.
Yay!
So, yeah, you managed to do that relatively well.
Lucius disabled the ability to magic missile people. I am sad.
Aww.
Oh.
Yeah, TaleSpire actually made it so that the DM has to approve attacks, and I am very happy about that, because it means I can just deny you from doing that.
It's even
All the
got a
balls.
red laser.
Yeah, it's all attacks. It's all attacks.
Go
Fine.
with the fun.
There you go.
Ow!
I'll let
Just
go.
get magic missiles by the donkey.
Yes.
Wait, did the donkey magic missile too?
Yes,
Hang
it
on.
did, because you selected both characters to do it. No.
Oh,
That's
you
enough of that.
bastard.
That's enough of that. As morning rises, you see, Isaac, that the splashing water sound was coming from the relatively large lake that was next to you. There's a couple of fish in there. Nothing particularly major. The four of you get back on the path towards South Cragstead. The cobblestones are snowed over. Some of them have broken up. Generally speaking, a little bit worn, but still well walked, and generally easily seen. It is not a path that would be hard to follow, basically. It takes you a few hours as you slowly climb further and further up the icy tundra that is the base of the Cragstead mountain line. Before you finally reach the bottom of a relatively tall cliff, up to which there is a snaking path that leads to what, from your angle, looks like a rather large stone fortification.
Christ. This camera does not want to work properly.
Yeah, I've completely beamed my camera. It is stuck in the floor now. Figuring this out as I go. Oh god, now it's zoomed all the way out. Okay, this is somehow better.
We're getting there. Oh, good lord. Turn, you bastard.
Is there a way to describe traveling while keeping an eye out?
Yes, that would be your passive perception.
That's the same as my regular perception, as we've discovered, so fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm just going to manually walk up the stairs, fuck the rest of this.
So, yeah. With your passive perception, there is not much going on around. You do see that there are a few caves. There's a lot of running water around this area, you've noticed. A lot of fast-flowing water that's going past this area, especially as you climb up the snaking path, there is this, what looks like a deep sort of jagged cut next to it that is just filled with incredibly fast-flowing, frothing white water. There's a couple of rocks in there as well that you notice. But nothing unusual other than that. As the four of you arrive at the gatehouse, you notice that the gate is wide open. There's nobody around, at least not this early in the morning. It's possible that this town is relatively unguarded. It looks relatively small from what you can see. If there is a guard on duty, he's not here. Enter at your own risk.
Entered.
As you walk through the gate, the cobbled path sort of becomes a lot denser. It's a lot more well built inside the gate. There is a main road that sort of goes through the center of the town. There are a couple of buildings here and there, some of them raised up on the mountainside. There is a rather large tent that is located at the side of the gate. It's relatively colorless, mostly sort of white canvas. It has a few, you can see a few large wooden stakes that are coming through various parts of it, keeping it aloft. There's a couple of other buildings. There's a couple of carts, some rather large crates underneath one of the suspended cliffside buildings. The town, it's relatively early morning. At this point, the town is still waking up. There doesn't seem to be that many people around.
Seems rather empty.
Well, it is.
Were
It
we
is
expecting it to be particularly populous?
early morning.
I think
You
at least
have-
to say it's someone.
You have arrived in South Cragstead.
Oh no, I recognize this tent.
Does someone want to roll me a history check? Real quick? If someone has proficiency in history, do they want to roll me a history check?
I do not.
Oh, I do.
I've got a +1.
Isaac, roll me a history check.
That is a 16 tote, 14 plus 2.
Okay. South Cragstead, from what you are aware, is one of two towns. One of a twin, as it were. There is South Cragstead on this side of Daggerfall Pass, and there is North Cragstead, which is on the other side of Daggerfall Pass. South Cragstead is known for mining. It is a mining town, basically. You can see, even from just the entrance of the town, you can see a massive cave area where there's been a lot of excavation done. You don't quite remember what the main export of South Cragstead is. You don't remember what they mine here, but you know that mining is one of the big things that they do here, basically. There are a few other bits and pieces of knowledge that you can remember about this area, but it's mostly irrelevant. You do remember that the favored drink for Cragsteaders, as they're known, is something called... let me bring up my notes. It is called fire brandy. So yeah, that is what you are aware of this area.
And I know I'm teetotal, but is that not just whiskey?
No. Fire brandy is not whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, the town seems relatively empty at the moment. It is early morning, as far as all of you can see. Not many people are awake. The tent that you walk past, as the four of you were walking past it, you see the curtains in front open wide, as a bleary-eyed white dragonborn looks out at the four of you.
Hi.
Morning.
The dragonborn sort of straightens up, adjusts his long coat, wipes the sleep from his eyes, and goes, "Good morning, my friends. What can I help you with on this fine, cold day?" And he tries to smile at you, but it comes out more like baring his teeth. He can't quite get the smile right. All of his teeth are showing, and it's slightly too sharp, and it's a little bit off-putting.
I'm having a fight with the camera again.
Yep, pretty much.
Double click, lock it down.
Double click your character.
Where am I?
Ooh. That helps a lot, thank you.
I don't suppose you have any rations. Any trail rations going?
The dragonborn sort of frowns at this and goes, "No, I don't sell food, I'm afraid. I'm a traveling merchant. I'm usually the one buying food."
Understandable. What wares have you on offer for today then?
Well, I'm a vendor of all sorts of things. I sell magical items, and I have a few rather interesting products in the back of the tent, if you'd like. I also sell various potions and remedies that the larger cities would also sell, but at a much discounted price, you see. And all the while that he's saying this, he's showing off various items, various bottles and stuff. In front of him, there are a vast variety of different, what look to be health potions, a variety of little vials of red liquid, some stuff that even you, Isaac, are unfamiliar with. And as he goes on, he says, "Some of this stuff is even from the far reaches of the south." And a lot of the way he's saying this, he's got this like sibilant whisper from sort of his tongue flicking out as he speaks. Are you planning on buying anything?
Very much in the way of wealth. Let me see. Nope. I have 14 gold. I am not buying anything.
Well, Ignivar could probably go with a couple of health potions.
Well, it is up to you to bargain with this man, if you wish to. If you wish to get some deals, as it were. As he's going on, he's also showing off a few of these supposed magical items, and he holds up what looks like a long silver wand, and he says, "This beautiful artifact I recovered just recently from a temple down in Imalan. It is a wand of immobility. And if you use it, you can enchant any creature to complete paralysis. And then he tucks it back under his cloak and he pulls out a blue orb and goes, "This stone is built for scrying, but only the greatest wizards would usually be able to use it. But I can provide you a guidebook to be able to use it in just a few hours." And then he tucks that back into his cloak as well and starts meandering on about other items that he has in his pockets.
I love the heavy Aladdin opening merchant vibes off of this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Combination hookah and coffee maker.
Jesus Christ. Now, Ingvar's looking at the blue orb for a moment and then he thinks, you wouldn't happen to have come across any red orbs lately, have you?
The white dragonborn sort of pauses for a moment and goes, red orbs. And he turns around and he rummages in his in a big chest that is sitting behind him. And as you watch, he pulls out 3 long swords, a couple of arrows, what looks like a rather interesting kettle with like wing patterns on it, until finally he goes, aha! And he pulls out a big crimson orb. And it's around about the size of your head, Ingvar. Around about the size of your head. It is glowing crimson, sort of swirling, and he goes, "This artifact I recovered a few years ago. It is an orb of transmutation."
Rests a hand quietly on Darren's shoulder.
And he goes, this artifact can change any beast into human form.
Oh,
But it is a very short time. It lasts a very, very short time, I'm afraid. And once it's done, the artifact unfortunately breaks. I've never been able to replicate it, but it may serve your purpose, if this is what you are looking for.
do you have any that turn into things other than humans?
The Dragonborn sort of ponders for a moment, and then once again turns back to the chest, pulls out a few more items before he finds a small silver ring. And he shows it to you, and in the top of it there is a small green gem. And he says, This is an item that I procured from a druid a few years back. He said that it can transform the largest man into the smallest mouse. But I've never had the opportunity to use it. And he pockets it.
It's not quite the orb I was looking for. The orb I'm looking for sets things on fire, and it's only been missing recently, not the last few years. But thank you anyway.
Also, since we're on the topic,
Roll me a perception check. Ingvar.
No. Okay. Nope, that's just gone.
Well, apparently you got an 18. Wherever it went.
Yeah, that's 21. Okay.
We can't perceive where the dice landed, though.
Yeah, 21. Okay. As you mention the fire, you notice the Dragonborn sort of stiffen momentarily. Like he froze for a second. Before his easy somewhat uneasy grin comes back to his face. And he says, no, I'm afraid I haven't seen anything like that.
Are you sure about that? Because you seemed a little bit
I'm
apprehensive
quite
there.
sure. I'm very, very sure that I would remember an orb that sets things on fire.
Which is entirely fair.
And he
Seems like racial profiling
smiles at
slightly.
you. He smiles again, this off-putting, dark-like grin.
On the subject of orbs, though, I take it you had more of the red one to begin with, then.
The Dragonborn sort of nods his head, says, I used to. Unfortunately, that is the only one I have left now.
That answers the question, then, of how did you know it break when you use it?
Yes.
Oh, while we're talking, didn't manage to catch your name earlier.
The Dragonborn sort of brings himself up to his full height and says, my name is Exaskire Icewind. I am a Dragonborn from the Northern Plains. He he lifts himself up in pride. Roll me a history check.
6.
You have never
not having a good
heard
day,
of
are
this
we?
person before. You know of the Northern Ice Plains, but you've never visited. You've never been there.
So, it just sort of nods absently. That's a long way north.
Yes, it is. My family have presided over the Northern Ice Plains for generations. My father wanted me to be a counselor, but it was never the life for me. I wanted to travel. So one day I packed up and I traveled south, and I found such wondrous things.
You haven't possibly gone through Thistledown anytime soon, have you?
Thistledown. The Dragonborn sort of ponders his head at this and turns the name over in his mouth a few times before going, I was there a few years ago, but haven't been back in a while. I was waiting for the full spring thaw before I traveled back through Daggerfall Pass to the north. Thistledown is quite far south from here, isn't it?
To be honest, I barely know myself. I was only going by an old letter from a friend Carter.
Yes. If I remember correctly, it's a few weeks' travel to the southeast.
Just on the note of these transmutation artifacts that you happen to have, you mentioned you procured the latter from a druid. Are they still?
Yes.
Are they still among the living?
The ring I procured from an old druid in. It was in the south. I know that much, but it's been a very long time since I was down there. I don't know if he's still among the living, but if you give me a few weeks, I could probably send a letter.
Wager he would be. Druids tend to be scarily long-lived.
I'm trying to think what
the
we'd say.
Dragonborn
I would be very curious to arrange a meeting.
The Dragonborn sort of nods and then goes, I will see if old Moj is still around. I will send a letter.
Sorry, just to chime in real quick. That wouldn't happen to be Vordor Moj, would it?
The Dragonborn sort of cocks his head at you and goes, could you repeat the name?
I'm only going by old notes here, and just sort of gesticulates to his book. It's like Vordoh.
The Dragonborn shakes his head for a moment and then goes, no, 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 not Vordoh mode. No, the druid I remember is called Vodok. And he sort of squints at you and says, do you know his family? Are you friends?
Wouldn't say that much, but we tend to move in similar circles.
The Dragonborn sort of squints at you for a moment and goes, oh, that is surprising. I never knew that old Vodok had family. He was very much a loner the last time I met him.
Definitely not the one I'm thinking of then. One I'm thinking of was quite a irate little fellow.
Yes, he was. He was a terrible, terrible person. Never liked to speak with anyone. Very much a commune with nature sort of person.
Exactly. Absolutely. Definitely seems like a family trait. Not trying to tar all gnomes with the same brush, but the wild gnomes particularly.
The Dragonborn sort of nods and chuckles to himself and goes, "Yeah, so I will send a courier down south once all of this," and he sort of gestures around him. Snow clears. I will see if I can get a message back, and I will inquire for you, young dwarf.
Much obliged.
And then he goes. He sort of
Quiet nudge to
switches
Darren.
back.
How is he going to find you again?
Good question.
The Dragonborn sort of switches back into sales pitch mode and then goes, "But you were interested in this ring, weren't you?"
Well, I'm interested certainly in something with a similar effect.
Well,
Do you know anything about the craftsmanship that went into these items?
I'm sure that the enchanters who made them would definitely be able to give you those answers. I do have, I believe, a few more transmutable items in my chest back there, and he indicates the large box behind him.
I might be interested in perusing that.
The Dragonborn sort of pulls out a list that he has tucked in his jacket, runs his finger down it a little bit, and then goes, somewhere in that box. And I'm not going to look for it now because there's a lot of stuff in there. It's a little bit unorganized, you know. He sort of chatters on for a moment and then goes, somewhere in that box there is a ring of bear form, which I got from that very same druid. There is an amulet of draconic existence, which I've never seen used, but I've heard it has some very interesting effects. And there is and he sort of pokes at his writing, and as you manage to get a look as the list is sort of tumbled over his fingers, you manage to get a look at some of his writing. It is appalling. You cannot read a word of his scribble.
Oh wow.
But he sort of pokes at it for a moment and then goes, yes, bracers of stone form. I believe they allow you to and he sort of stutters for a moment and then goes, transmogrify yourself into some form of large stone creature. And he tucks the list back in his jacket.
And do you know by what providence that came to you?
He sort of cocks his head and goes, which one?
The stone form one.
The Dragonborn sort of nods his head and then goes, I picked it up while I was in Northcrest, from an irate old gnome. No, wait, it wasn't a gnome, it was a dwarf. A dwarf, but he didn't have a beard, which was very strange. And he said he had looted it from an old troll cave, which seems rather strange in my opinion, but these stories do come about on occasion.
Well, unfortunately, I think that's more of a dead end for my particular investigations, but I'm just trying to think where could I have like a mailing address? I don't have access to like the sending spell or anything. Is there any way that you could contact me? By a magical means?
The Dragonborn sort of looks at you for a moment and then pulls out a small sheet of parchment and tears it in half, sort of right down the middle, and hands you it and goes, "Take this. I shall contact you when I shall use it to contact you when I get word."
Okay then.
Add one inconspicuous sheet of parchment to your inventory. Magic items section.
Alright.
I just realized I have myself muted. I am interested in those bracers.
The bracers of Stonefall?
Yep.
He's been very silently requesting them with his eyes,
I see.
pleading.
I'm intrigued about the braces of stone form and the ring of bear form.
Okay. As you from behind the party, as you speak up, the Dragonborn sort of has to actually crane his neck to look up at you. He's actually a relatively short Dragonborn, from what you know about Dragonborn. And he goes, "Certainly, sir." And this big, like, shark smile reappears on his face. As he sort of turns back to the chest, rummages through for a moment before he pulls out these rather elegant-looking silver bracers, which would go on your wrists, and a gold ring, mostly plain, but with a small sort of purple gem in the top, and he puts them on the counter of his tent, and sort of puts them out in front of you and goes, "I am not an unreasonable personage. But obviously these items are relatively sought after. They are very well enchanted after all." And sort of there's a sibilant whisper underlying his voice now. And he's sort of, it seems like he's gone into a bartering phase. And he says, "I would be willing to let these items escape my possession, well, at least one of them, for 50 gold.
I return his smile with a little bit of malice, a hint of malice in it. Surely you don't take me for a fool.
The Dragonborn sort of
I
returns
think
your
it's a comment.
smile with a sort of that shark-like grin of his own and goes, "Of course not. That is, of course, why these are my premium prices." And he is going to attempt to persuade you on this.
What do I... Oh, you're rolling.
And he rolls a dirty 20.
Against, I'm guessing, Gilg's insight?
Against Gilk's insight roll. So I will need you to roll an insight.
Straight 14.
Um,
But do I get intimidation or no?
in this instance, you didn't tell me that you were trying to intimidate him before.
I did say that there was malice in my smile.
You said there was
That's what I was
malice in
saying.
your smile. You didn't say you wanted to intimidate. Intimidating
okay.
is a different thing. Like, yes, you can have malice in your smile, but that doesn't mean it's intimidating to people. If you
might
want to
just be a
actually
nasty
try
dude.
and be intimidating, you're gonna have to
So it's
tell me.
suddenly very finicky here.
From what you can tell, he's actually being quite genuine. The price that he is offering you for these, for at least one of these items, is relatively fair in his opinion.
I will look over at the party and specifically at Isaac, and I'll give a slight shake of my head.
I don't, with the heights, I love how this kind of works. He's going to just sort of walk up to Gilk and just sort of crane a little bit and just sort of speak towards the ear. He's like, I understand you probably haven't done this in a while. Just pointing out, you probably should ask about how many uses each item has, given that the orb breaks after one, for example. And then walks back again.
How many uses are in each item?
The Dragonborn smiles again with this little bit unnerving grin, and goes, the ring has 3 uses total, unfortunately. It's good, but the enchantment is a little dated, you could say. The braces are actually quite good. They can only be used once a day. It takes them a little while to recharge. But after a certain amount of time, you will be able to use them again. There is no supposed limit to them. Roll me insight.
Okay.
You got this, buddy.
Whee!
Ooh.
Straight 16.
You're not 100% sure if he's lying. But you do feel like there might be a caveat to that.
Is it possible to argue that I could stand over here and mouth cursed at him?
You could. Can you read lips, Gilk? Is that something? that you are
Let's
able
roll
to
and
do?
find out.
You
No,
can't
that is
read
not a roll.
periods.
That is not a roll. That is an actual language skill that you would need to have.
I do not have language skill read lips.
Because read
Okay.
lips, as far as I know, isn't in the PHB to begin with.
Yeah.
I think it's based on perception usually.
Is it?
It
You
used to
can't
be
expect him to have a language that doesn't exist.
In 3.5, it was you rolled like you rolled perception to like figure out if you could read someone's lips.
Let's see.
It wasn't called perception back then, but nonetheless.
I could always
No,
try
it is a
performance.
proficiency. It is a rogue proficiency. So you do
Where
not
is that
have
coming
the-
from?
From the D&D wiki. In D&D 5e, lip reading is a proficiency for rogue. It is an intelligence roll. And yeah.
So do I? Can I roll to understand and just like whisper in his other ear?
Yes, you
No.
could. You could. If you are like watching for this, you definitely could.
I mean, I
Alright.
was gonna say, since I am getting the hint, I'm gonna put my. What I was gonna do is I was gonna put my hands, just resting them on my hand axes, and be like, "What's the catch?"
Okay, are you trying to intimidate in this instance?
Yes.
Okay, roll me intimidation.
Oh, come on.
We're not doing great tonight, are we?
No, we're not. That's 6 total.
The Dragonborn sort of notices that you're positioning your hands in a certain way. But he doesn't seem particularly fazed by this. And you kind of get the feeling that this man is currently sitting in a tent basically full to the brim of magic weaponry. He is not scared of you. And he says, no catch at all. Well, other than the fee, of course.
What fee?
Well, the 50 gold, of course.
Gold.
50 gold. That's what he's asking for.
I'll pass for now.
The Dragonborn sort of adjusts his coat and goes, suit yourself, but you never know when it could come in handy. And he puts the items back in the box behind him. And if there is nothing else you would like to ask this merchant, he's going to start packing everything back into the box.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay. The town has started waking up around you while you've had this conversation. A few people can be seen in the street. A few sort of men with pickaxes. You can see heading towards the mine. One or two sort of women just sort of walking around with two of them actually with pickaxes as well. Two rather burly looking women just sort of walk towards the great sort of chasm that is to the other end of the town. There are a relatively large number of people in the town itself, but not as many as you would expect from a town like this. You would probably expect to see a few more people, even if they were just miners. But at the moment, it's still relatively empty. What would you like to do?
Well, we still have an outstanding need for trail mix, so
Okay.
Right,
Man
yeah.
just wants food.
Do you know how many calories dwarves burn?
Well, let us
Lots,
probably
apparently.
find a local inn.
Yep, there is only one inn/tavern that you can see. It is right up the main street. There is a creaky-looking sign above the door that spells out Old Iron Inn. Though it doesn't.
I noticed
really-
the stable. I noticed the stable beside. Is there a stable master near that I could see?
There isn't so much stable as just a pen, and the pen has a couple of very large-looking goats in it.
I've just
there is
noticed
no
the
one else
gravedigger.
around. Gravedigger? Oh, right, that NPC.
That gravedigger.
That's actually a miner, but we'll get to
Yeah,
it later.
yeah, miner in a top hat. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Fucking
You
shifty
don't know.
man again.
Yeah.
You don't know.
We're not going to become
Alright.
like any particular ist, other than we're going to become mini ist, aren't we? We're just going to recognize certain minis like, I don't trust you.
Well, if there's no room in the pen, I'd like to find a place to tether the donkey to while we're in the inn.
You could
Somewhere to park the
probably.
donkey.
You could probably. Give me a sec.
Well, the ones that are leaping out to me are asking the blacksmith for some permission, or maybe asking permission to tether it by the well.
Give me a second.
Tuck it round the back.
I'm fixing it. Don't worry.
Even miners know good style.
There we go. There is outside the inn
Like
a
Jen
small
said.
sort of hitching post that you could probably tie the donkey to.
Okay.
Gen Z are always telling me that my style is cringe.
Okay.
I confess I'm not too familiar with Pokemon. I'm not sure which Gen Z is.
Oh my god.
I am going to ignore that. You enter the inn. It isn't really an inn, as like you realize that the moment you enter the building. There
It's
is
actually a
not
very
enough.
stylish miner.
There is not enough room in this building for rooms. It
Oh,
is
this
just
is really
a
cramped.
tavern.
There
It
is
is-
literally no room in the inn.
It is just a tavern, basically. There are
Oh, no,
various various seating areas, but there is no second floor. There is not enough room in this, realistically speaking, for it to be a building that actually allows people to sleep in it.
Are there any trapdoors?
Not as far as you can see.
I don't know that there's room for a trapdoor. There's probably a table leg on it.
Not as far as you can see. I mean, there might be a cellar behind the bar, but can't see any
No, it was
trapdoors.
just after the experience of the last inn that had trapdoors. That was all.
No,
Okay.
you can't see any trapdoors. The old Iron Inn, which is not in fact an inn, does not have any visible trapdoors in it at the moment. As far as
You're going to tell me it's not
Ah.
iron.
Hang on, there's a roaring fireplace in here. That's gotta be a fire hazard.
there is.
It
a
does,
roaring
however, go up a
fireplace,
chimney.
yeah.
It's
There
got a
is.
chimney, but also there are like wooden chairs directly in front of it, surrounded by wooden furniture.
Have
There's,
you
there's
never?
no fire guard
Have
there.
you never been in a lodge?
Have you never been in any building that has like an open fireplace lying?
It's got
I
stone in
grew
front
up
of it.
in one. There was when I was growing up in our house, we had a fireplace like that in every room.
Yeah.
So
did
yes, I have, and I know that's a fire hazard.
I need to
Only
point
if
out I
it's
stood
not-
on the table and I can't find myself anymore.
Oh,
You
God.
pull you off the table. There you go.
I go.
Oh,
Um,
poor Ingvar.
suddenly Ingvar is short again. But yes, Gilk,
Closed
you.
doors yet? Oh, no, damn it.
There you go. You walk up to the bar, and behind the bar there is a stern-looking, middle-aged woman. currently sort of wiping it down, opening up for the morning. And she looks up at you and she goes, "Can I get you anything, dear?"
A drink to warm me up.
Warm you up? Well, I can do that. And she turns behind her, and you can see on the shelving behind her are a few bottles, a few bits and pieces, and there's also a rather large cask, and she pulls a mug from under the bar, puts it under the tap of the cask, and pours out what looks to be a brilliant orange liquid, and sort of puts it down in front of you and says, "That'll be 3 silver."
I pay her the 3 silver.
Okay, subtract 3 silver from your character sheet. Darren, she kind of turns to you as you hop up on one of the bar stools and goes, "And for you, laddie."
Would you happen to know anywhere in town where one might procure rations and supplies for long distance travel?
She smiles at you and goes, "Why, right here. The old iron. We stock up most of the food in the town as well. So if you need travel rations, well, we can provide."
Ah,
She
wunderbar.
gives you a smile.
I would be very dearly in your debt if I could have some trail rations for about a week's worth of travel.
Week's worth? All right. She sort of rummages through some stuff. She pulls some stuff out of various bags and puts together a rather nice, like, cloth sack full of various things. And she says, "Are you sure you want a week's worth, darling?"
How much would that run me?
So, realistically, that would be a small meal twice a day for 7 days. So give me a second while I actually calculate this for you. And I'm going to need a calculator to do it.
God bless you.
Oh God. I mean, I don't blame you. Maths is hard.
Yeah, I feel like I may have just stumbled upon something that's going to eat all my wealth and carrying capacity, but oh well.
Okay, so that's, and then 7. Okay, it would total 4 gold, 9 silver.
Okay, that's not bad. 4
Bearing
gold,
in
9
mind,
silver.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind.
Bearing in mind that is a small meal twice a day, basically.
Yeah.
It is rations after all. It's nothing big. But yeah, 4 gold, 9 silver, darling. And
4 gold,
she's-
9 silver I can cover.
Yeah. And she nods and drops a sack of various things, various foods. There's a couple of fruits in there. There's a decent amount of sort of dried meats.
That's what I forgot.
And generally, it's a decent amount of various things, basically. And she drops it on the table in front of you and goes, "There you go, love." And patiently holds out her hand. She seems like a relatively well warmed woman. She's not particularly grave in any sort of way. She seems like she's used to having travelers come through here on a regular basis.
Right. Help me feel it.
Yep. Subtract 4 gold, 9 silver from your
Yep.
thing.
All set.
Okay. Lovely.
Excuse me.
I have a.
Is anyone else wanting to do anything in the tavern?
Well, I'm gonna finish my drink and ask if there have been any interesting rumors or events around town recently.
The woman sort of looks at you and goes, "Do you want town gossip, or do you want general work gossip?"
Oh, hang on. If anyone wants a drink, I could wait. I could hold on until.
I'm just waiting for somebody to ask him.
Well, Ingvar kind of needs to walk up to the bar to actually ask. You kind of have to
There's no
ask.
room.
There's no he shoves his way in, I guess.
We're queuing for the bar.
There's 3 bar stools.
Yes, and you were sitting on 2 of them.
Oh,
You call me fat.
There we go. Now we're all on a stool. Bunch of jackasses standing on stools.
Okay. You walk up to the bar, and the barwoman turns to you and goes, "What about you, love?"
I'll have 2 of what he had.
And the barwoman sort of raises one eyebrow at you and goes, "Oh, all right." And
Thank
she pulls 2 large mugs from below the bar and fills them up with this bright orange liquid. Have you taken a sip of it yet, Gilk?
I'm drinking it, yes.
Okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw
Wee.
with 15 to beat. Ooh, barely. All right.
Oh, it's I've got a +3 for saves, so that's 19.
Okay, you're fine then. Is it any save, or does it have a specific thing
Well, it's
for saves?
con +3 saves.
Con +3 saves. Okay, so specifically Constitution saves. That's fine.
Yeah,
Just
barbs
making sure.
are con and I want to say strength saves. Yeah.
Con and
Yes.
strength saves. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you start drinking this without too much of a problem. It tickles the back of your throat. It does do what you asked her for, which is warm you up quite nicely. You feel sort
Excellent.
of generally warmed from the inside out. It feels like, to you at the very least, it feels like drinking a steaming hot mug of cocoa. But it tastes like a very sort of lightly alcoholic drink.
Did we just give him the D&D equivalent of a WKD?
Technically, he's just had the D&D equivalent of mulled wine. Kind of.
Oh,
Or if you want to be really accurate about it, mildly warmed up brandy. So yeah, it does have like a few magical effects, but they're few and far between, and it would only affect you if you actually drank a lot of it, basically. So yeah, the barwoman puts 2 mugs down on the table, on the bar in front of her, slides them towards you, and goes, "That'll be 1 gold, darling." And sort of shoots you a mildly worried look, actually.
I quite happily hand the gold over.
subtract 1 gold from your character sheet. And remember to do it manually because the automatic thing includes Electrum, and it also thinks that 1 gold equals 100 silver, which is not.
Oh, the trauma.
Yep, already sorted.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Roll me a Constitution check on your first drink, England.
Also, Lydia, I just read
Oh,
that. Sip.
Zip.
Um,
Oh.
I'm gonna take that 12 as,
Yeah.
which is actually a 13, as your base. As you drink down this first sort of gulp of what you are now aware of is fire brandy.
God.
You feel warm. You feel warmth go down your gullet. And that warmth sort of, it sits there for a moment. And then it slowly starts building up and building up and build. And as you sort of sit there, your eyes sort of widen. And the woman behind the bar ducks. And for a moment, nothing really happens. And she peeks over the bar again, and then with all of this warmth slowly welling up inside you, you let out an unearthly belch, and a small streak of fire leaps from your throat and into the air. And for a second you cough, and you cough again, and small particles of smoke come out of your mouth, and then the warmth sort of subsides.
Was an interesting drink.
Seeing this, Gilk just bellows in laughter and strongly pats Ingvar on the back.
Thank you.
And now you know why they call it fire brandy.
That was certainly invigorating, I'll give it that much.
The woman, the bar woman, sort of gets up from behind the bar and goes and sort of nods at you, and then turns back to Gilk and for a moment she pauses, and then she turns to the last of you that has been sort of sitting in the corner and goes, "Are you gonna have anything, sir?" And she directs this as Isaac.
Isaac, who is sorry, I was only sitting on the chair for annoyance.
Harry Potter can
is it
go
alright for
fuck
him to have pulled up a
itself,
wall
Snapgirl.
instead?
That is my thoughts on it.
Hello?
What did you say?
Mike?
Yep.
Okay, the mic was a bit weird. Sorry.
No, it
I only had him
means-
perched on the chair for the joke. But
Okay.
is it alright for him to have pulled up a wall?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so he's pulled up some wall. Just generally just shrugs. Just, I'm just mostly enjoying the show. Although, you offered town gossip or general work gossip. Is there anything more general area gossip? Where I believe, what's the current count now, Gilk? We're looking for bandits.
Witches,
No,
dragons.
yep, that was it. That was it. Witches. That's the other one in the north. Dragons is mostly south. If you can't tell, players at the table
fire-
that Sean Connery is slipping today. Sorry about that.
Don't worry about it.
Orbs of fire, balls of fire, something like that.
was down south.
Ah,
Oh, and a
Well-
goblin. And a goblin. That's the other one.
The bar woman gives you all a kind of bewildered look.
It's a long list. I'm sorry.
For a moment, and then she sort of goes, "Well, not sure about goblins or dragons. I know there are a few bandits that have been plaguing the northern end of Daggerfall Pass. Not gotten too many reports about that. I'm afraid the gossip, the rumors of that sort of thing are sparse. You're best talking to the town guard about that.
Fair.
Which is, well, a few years back, there was rumors of a witch living up past old Hammerfell Keep.
Yeah, that lines up with what we've heard.
But nobody's been up there in years, and well, I wouldn't really know where to start, honestly. Old Hammerfell Keep has been abandoned for nigh on more than a century at this point. I don't think there's anything up there anymore. And she sort of pauses and then thinks to herself, as for that, you mentioned an orb?
Yeah, it's like a dark glass orb that's got fire in it. Like
She ponders for a moment. Roll a perception check.
Let me not roll it in here. Yeet!
Please do not roll it in there.
We'll never get there.
Maybe I should have.
Oh. Just
Ouchie.
bounce it off your own.
Isaac,
bounce it
are
off
you-
your own character.
Are
it's
you
fine.
going to try and perceive, because you are watching, would you like to try and perceive something from this as well? Or not? It's up to you.
I think we missed who you were talking to. We were talking about the Nat 1.
I was talking to you.
Okay. Well, yeah, sure. What was it? Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Spectator sports skills, go! Oh, come on!
1,
2!
2.
Okay, so you both rolled the worst possible rolls on this. Fair enough. The
We
bar
increased
woman
it
sort
by
of
1.
ponders for a moment and then goes, sorry, darlings. I haven't seen anything about an orb. But you might want to talk to old Exesker down at the other end of town. If it's any magical item, he'll know about it, probably.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Last one off the list. Haven't seen a panicked goblin running around a place, have you? Possibly looking like he's trying to escape from debts.
The bar woman sort of ponders again and says, again, no goblins. But if anyone's seen someone running, it's probably the town guard. Well, if you can find them, that is.
Yeah, I didn't find them on the way in. Do they happen to go on a shift rota or?
Well, and she taps the counter for a moment, and then goes, old Bella Dermot. She's the captain of the town guard. She'll usually be up at the north gate, but I haven't seen any of the others for a while, actually. They used to come in here on the regular, but these days, haven't seen many of them.
Right, okay. Well, thank you very much. That sounds most helpful on that one.
Well, the least I could do for paying patrons. And she smiles.
Literally, as you said, paying patrons, my Gmail went pudding. I was like, this is your bill.
And Ingvar's like onto the set. Does he need to roll for the second?
You
glass
are
as
going to
well?
have to roll for the second drink as well, yes.
I thought you already rolled that.
He
Oh, well,
rolled for the first drink, but he purchased 2. So yeah, you're rolling for the second drink.
I thought I saw
with
the 12 and then
advantage,
a 17 or
though.
some random crap.
With advantage, so roll again.
Oh
Wow.
no.
Okay.
Ingvar, you just have the worst rolls. For
You-
laughs, let's just try rolling one in here and see if it's actually even possible. Huh.
It
It's
is.
just
we
as
just
bad
suck.
in here.
We just suck.
Yeah. You, as you pick up the second mug, you eye it warily. You're kind of regretting getting two of them at this point, and you are starting to feel a little lightheaded.
At least just aim it away from other people.
You sip it tentatively, and nothing happens for the first thing. That warmth that came with the first drink is still there. You don't really feel anything. So you take a few more sips, and then suddenly and without warning, that building warmth sort of spouts up your throat. You turn your head away for a moment. As you're turning away, you turn past Gilk, and you can't stop it. The belt roars out of your gullet, and so does this flame. Gilk, roll me a dexterity check.
I'll use acrobatics to kind of roll out of the way.
Go for it.
I'm using my acrobatics.
Yeah, no, I.
Come on,
Go
boy,
for it.
you got this.
Roll me.
Where to go?
You don't got this.
That's
You
9.
you sort of as you see Ingvar's mouth open, your eyes widen. You try to back away, but there's a wall behind you. There's tables over there. Your head and your shield hit the wall behind you. For a second, time seems to freeze before this gout of flame scorches past your head and singes off your eyebrows. You pat yourself down really quickly. You pat at your face. Where there used to be a pair of wide, bushy eyebrows, there is now simply smooth skin.
And I laugh.
You are eyebrowless and laughing.
Remove item eyebrows from your inventory.
Remove eyebrows from your character description.
Oh.
I'll ask the barmaid how much for 2 flasks of that to go.
The barmaid sort of gives an amused chuckle and says, "You like the fire brandy, huh? Well, it loses its potency after a few days, so bear that in mind, but I could give you 2 flasks for 8 silver."
Done deal.
She gestures for you to hand over the flasks, and you push them towards her. She pours a pair of. She puts them under the tap of the keg, pours out some fire brandy, stoppers up the small sort of flasks, puts them on the bar, and you hand over the silver. You now you add 2 flasks of fire brandy to your inventory.
And while this is happening, poor Ingvar is just looking absolutely horrified and just whispers, "I'm sorry."
It's all good.
Yeah.
Spend
knows?
long enough on the road, you get used to it.
Might be useful in a fight.
And of course, there he goes for the combat applications.
Wait, it's
all
flamethrower.
right.
Oh, hey, Darren, good point. Flamethrowing. That'd be right up your street, wouldn't it?
Okay.
I suppose.
I combine that with a couple of rings and we're away.
As the 4 of
Thank
you
Elliot.
exit the tavern,
camera.
a woman behind the bar goes, "Stay safe now, won't you? Daggerfall is no place for fools." She smiles, and the door closes behind
Oh,
you.
we're doomed.
Oh, I turn back and just give a big broad smile and a wink as we walk out.
With your eyebrowless eyes.
Exactly.
Roll me persuasion, Gil. Very quickly.
Oh boy.
Just very quickly.
Nope.
Too quickly. Too quickly. Too quickly and too deeply.
You smile, you wink. The door shuts in your face. Okay.
I feel like we need to stress for chat. This is RNG. This is literally a random number generator, and we're still doing so poorly.
Yo.
And even when we're not using a random number generator, we're still rolling like garbage.
Yeah. It's like at this point, I feel like we are. This has been statistically improbable bad rolls.
It's saving it for when the actual combat starts, and I start ripping off doors.
You can probably leave
your door rolls
the
are always
donkey here
parallel to
while you're walking around town, Gil.
I'm gonna leave the donkey here.
Okay. The town is bustling now. There are a couple of you see a couple of people walking to the mine. You see at the north gate of town where the barmaid said that there would probably be the town guard captain. There is a short halfling in sort of red leather armor, or sort of dark red leather armor, with a sword out, sort of going up against a training dummy of some sort. Various
For a hot
other
second there,
people.
for like a hot second there, I thought you were going to pantomime or fighting the dummy.
No.
Oh god.
I mean, I could, technically speaking. I could, but I'm not gonna.
You're saying.
But yes, there are a couple of other people around town. There's a blacksmith working under a sort of an extended awning that extends out of an old tower. There's what looks to be some form of arcane practitioner behind the woodshed of one of the houses with his long staff holstered on his back. There's an old man standing at the mine entrance with a big shovel, sort of ushering the miners in. Yeah, there's a variety of people you could talk to. What do you all want to do?
I feel like walking up to the guy and saying, "Hey, are you a wizard?" might be profiling. That might be stereotyping a little bit.
You could. I mean, he might not take particularly kindly to it, but
It depends if you phrased it like a pickup line or not.
Oh my.
Hey, baby, are you a wizard?
oh god.
You seem pretty magical to me.
Hey, bro, how big's your wand? Does it levitate? If I say the right incantation.
Oh, jeez.
Meanwhile, I think the brandy's gone in Ingvar's head little. He's just trying to pet the cord.
Oh.
Oh.
Roll me
Having
animal
babysat
handling
Gilk for many
with
sessions,
the
I think it's
disadvantage.
gonna babysit.
Roll me animal handling with disadvantage.
20?
Yep, 20.
Everything's a 20.
Yeah,
Yes.
Everything's a 20.
It's a D20 system.
Oh.
Hey, not horrible.
We're
it
out
again.
of single
Average.
digits, boys.
What? Hang
Roll
on,
it
just
again.
got one more roll.
Yeah, because it's with disadvantage, Gil.
Oh no! Oh no!
And it's in the water.
Okay, we're
Still double
it's safe.
digits, though.
Yeah!
Still double
Average.
digits. The goat doesn't seem to be particularly interested in you. It seems to be used to drunk people trying to pet it. It is not interested. It is a very large goat. It is around about the same height as you are, but it isn't interested in you. At least it didn't try to bite your hand off. So, good thing.
He just turns to Isaac and goes, the goat doesn't like us. He doesn't want to.
Isaac's just going to just stare through Ingvar.
God damn it.
Yeah.
He
There.
just kind of walks away dejectedly.
There are quite a few other people around if you want to talk to them. There is a gate to the north if you want to take it. You don't know what's beyond there. There is a rather large mine. What do you guys want to do?
Speaking of taking things,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna suggest.
we've been at this for 2.25 hours. Should we maybe take a
Yeah.
break?
Let's take a break. Everybody back here in 5 minutes. We're going to take a quick break, grab ourselves some drinks, grab ourselves some snacks, and we'll be right back. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. Apparently the connection to TaleSpire...
That is a start, my friend.
The connection to TaleSpire went a little wonky, apparently. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, so... Before the break, for our brief little break, we took a few... well... Ingvar tried to pet a
What the
goat.
fuck was that?
The goat.
No,
Ingvar
that
tried to pet a
tone.
goat. The goat
Yes,
was not
the-
interested.
The goat has a dial message.
The goat is like a sort of sister of those screaming goats meme. But just
Okay.
dial tone goats.
What is the rest
Did
of
I-
the party doing?
I don't know, but I just got the mental image of Ingvar trying to grab the horn and use it as a telephone.
Okay.
Just tries to hand it to Isaac. It's for you.
Oh dear.
Yeah, what are you all doing? You have the world at your fingertips, as it were.
Well,
I say we.
you first.
I don't know. I say we find the guard and get more info on our current objectives.
Okay.
Head of the tower?
I'm gonna go over here to the mysterious-looking gentleman and stare off into the distant skyline and just say out loud, very clearly, very clearly trying to be a signal. Ah, magical morning, isn't it?
Oh God.
the relatively middle-aged man, tall, dark skin, big staff over his shoulder, looks down at this dwarf that has just sort of walked up and is leaning nonchalantly against the side of his house. And sort of... He looks at you for a moment and then goes, "You having a laugh?"
No, just admiring the view.
The view that you have at the moment, by the way, is of a blacksmith's. You can't really see past it.
Not
man...
to play the
trying
race
to-
card, but I am a
He's
dwarf.
trying to communicate that he's admiring the blacksmith.
The man looks at you for a moment, looks to where you're looking, and then goes, he sort of leans down to your side and goes, "Well, yes, I suppose, Elder Bromwell does have quite the muscular figure." And you both look as this hulking elder of a man with a big grey beard and long flowing grey hair walks out of the forge. He is shirtless aside from a leather apron. He has a big hammer over one shoulder. He's carrying a pair of tongs in the other hand, which have this big piece of red metal. He walks up to the anvil next to him, lays the metal down on it and starts hammering away at it. And as you watch, you can see the muscles in his arms ripple. You can see
Lucy,
his
you are just
abs.
straight up describing Beefcake right now, aren't you?
Look at the muscularity.
Yes, I am. You can just see his abs tense and release as he
Oh.
brings the hammer down every single time in perfect sync. And the two of you just stare at this this heavily set human as he works.
Darren is going to look respectfully.
The man beside you looks very unrespectfully, and
Oh.
you see his eyes roving, and he as he watches, he sort of licks his lips.
At this point, Ingvar's turned round, let off a wolf whistle at the man because Brandy apparently just unlocked all of his inhibits.
Okay.
But his prosthetic leg wobbles a little bit, so he ends up falling backwards and into the hay bale, over the fence.
As you let out this wolf whistle and fall over, Elder Bromwell looks up. Doesn't see you. You've just fallen into the hay bale. As you're lying there, staring up at this goat, you feel a rough, textured tongue sort of licking at your cheek.
Come here often?
You hear the clanging of metal on metal as Elder Bromwell goes back to hammering.
Can I try an animal handling the goat to stop licking Ingvar so we can move them out?
The goat isn't like... It's not keeping Ingvar there. It is literally just licking Ingvar. It seems to be
but like,
used
if
to...
you're trying to grab someone and move them, like, you'd need to shoo the goat away so you can just get your hands in there.
Yeah, alright. Roll me animal handling then.
I'll assist.
Is the assist upheld?
He said it before you rolled it, so yeah.
Good, because that was a 2.
Good, because mine was a 4.
Well, you would assist by giving him advantage. So you wouldn't need to roll, Gil.
It didn't get much better. It went to a 9, which has
9?
got a +1, so that's a 10.
Okay, so 10.
Double digits?
Yeah, true double digits, but dirty double.
The goat isn't particularly fussed about any of you. You do manage to get your arms under Ingvar's sort of back and haul him out of the hay. The goat continues licking until Ingvar is safely on the other side of the fence, after which it goes back to eating hay. Apparently it was using you as some sort of salt lick.
Oh, it's all the sweat from the hot beer.
Apparently.
Just with trying to like dust down Ingvar with one hand and turning to Gilk with the other, just like, can we possibly find the head of the guard and find more updates on what we're looking for and get out of here as fast as possible? This is starting to get weird.
Thank you for the help, he says, just giving him a thumbs up on the floor.
Like, I can't tell if you're talking to me or...
Can I just, at this point, throw Ingvar over my shoulder and say, lead the way?
Roll a strength check.
Oh god, here we go.
Athletics.
No.
Flex them athletics. Wow.
Ooh.
What is going on today?
Yeah.
I get that's a 10.
Okay. What's Ingvar's weight? Ingvar is...
Is 150, I think?
It takes a little effort. But you manage to haul Ingvar up over one shoulder.
Maybe the leg
he's
could drop off.
relatively heavy. But it's doable to lift him. For short distances, at the very least, in this instance. You three head to... Okay. You three head to the northern gate, and you walk up to this halfling woman. She stands at about 5 foot, maybe, at the most. She's relatively tall for a halfling, now that you actually get a good look at her. She's slashing away at a training dummy. And she notices you approach, and she goes, if you're looking for work, you can go elsewhere. We're not hiring. And she keeps slashing away at the dummy.
Maybe not for in-house guard support, but potentially outside contracting to find where your guards went.
She turns
You've been
around.
told that they don't seem to be in the town much.
She turns around as you're speaking and cuts you off in the middle and goes, look, we've had 6 town guards disappear past 5 days.
Exactly.
If you want to go find them, be my fucking guest. And she turns back to the dummy, and then as she's slashing, she goes, "But I'm gonna warn you. If you want to go into those mines, if you want to talk to my idiot husband about it, just don't get me involved. I'm not gonna pay you for this stuff." She keeps slashing away at the dummy. She seems angry at the moment. She seems very angry.
Just nodding to the damage the dummy is undergoing. It's like, I can see rather upset about the situation. Can I respectfully ask, did the guards disappear outside of the town or down the mine? Or do we not know?
She's very angry at this point. She's kind of she's slashing away. It seems like she's venting her frustration on this training dummy, and the training dummy does not look good for it. And she goes, "Look, mine has an infestation of some sort. I sent some guards down to fix it, but my idiot husband didn't tell them what they were running into, and they haven't come back. So,
Fair enough. Just getting all the facts.
go figure out for yourself." She
Thank you very much.
keeps slashing away. For a moment, she ignores you, and then for a second, she turns back and says, "Look, I haven't had a good few days, right? It's not been a good time here. But look, if you can bring back some of the guards, because we don't have any. I'm the only one left. I might be able to get some of the townspeople to get you some sort of reward. We're not a rich town, but
And
I
just
might
raises
be able
his
to
hands.
scrounge something up."
Just raises his hands. It's completely understandable. But half the reason we're up here is one of us was looking for bandits, and one of us is looking for a witch. We heard the town guard had disappeared. Maybe things are connected, especially if you say that they don't know what they're running into down the mine.
The halfling woman sort of sighs heavily, a resigned look on her face, and goes, "Don't know anything about witches. Bandits only come in through Daggerfall. You only see them out in the pass. You don't see them here. It's too well fortified. Until a few weeks ago, we had enough guards to deal with any bandits that came in.
Which is
Well,
why you probably
pass
would benefit
takes-
from getting them back.
Pass takes most of them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if you can bring even one or two of them back, I'd greatly appreciate it."
Well, thank you for your time. And would you like us to keep an eye out for anything that might patch up old dum-dums here? Just gesticulating to the dummy.
She turns around, looks over her shoulder at the dummy, goes, "It's alright. I'll get old Bromwell to make some armor for him next time."
Fair
And
enough.
she goes back. She turns back to the dummy, and with a sudden forceful yell, she swings her sword and lops its head clean off. Her head rolls a few feet before it lands on the ground.
Looking respectfully.
So is Isaac.
Oh look, a head.
So, no head.
Might be rolling, Ingvar, but it's not an orb.
She walks off under the stairs towards the door to the guardhouse.
As she's walking away, I lean over to Isaac and not so quietly whisper, "Which one's the idiot husband?"
Leaning, not leaning, just looking back at him. How the fuck am I supposed to know who's married to who around here? But if we go towards a mine and a man introduces himself, probably that one.
It ain't me.
Okay.
Okay.
But regardless, again, to Gilk, regardless, understand the pay isn't going to be great. Are you on board
Do I
with
get
this one? I thought that
do I get to
probably
kill
maybe
things?
leaving. You'd get to
Probably.
kill whatever's infesting the mine, probably, and I figured
Then I'm
you'd
good.
be aboard for a town not being left unguarded with bandits about.
Tell you what,
Okay.
help me buy those bracers. You got yourself a deal.
Let's see how much we get paid first. Like there is no jokes in that. Like just very definite. Like, well, let's see how much we get paid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll tell you what. If he's jacked the price up,
As
I'll
you
help you
guys
talk him
walk
back
up
down
to
again
the
to where we
entrance of
started.
the mine, an old human man with a big shovel sort of comes up to you and says, "I'm sorry. We're not accepting any new miners right now. We don't."
Is that a short joke? Sir, I'll have you know that is offensive, and I will have you brought upon charges.
The old man sort of
looks bewildered at him.
Look-
I don't think he's talking about you, Darren. I think it's all of us.
I'm not underaged.
The old man sort of
Just stares at Gil. Are you?
stares
four?
at you for a moment. Is not really sure what to make of you. Sort of goes, look. If you're looking for work, you're better off going to North Cragstead. All right. I know the pass is dangerous this time of year, but we can't help you.
Let's cut things short.
So you're saying dwarves should just go back where they came from? Is that
Darren,
it?
shut up. Not mine
didn't-
work.
mm.
We're looking for infestation work. That's it.
The man sort of eyes you warily, and then goes, "Did Bella send you?"
Whichever one was aggressively destroying the hell out of a dummy.
Aye, that'd be my Bella. She's
I lean
So
over
you're
to
the
Isaac.
idiot husband.
I was gonna say, I lean over to Isaac. I think we found the idiot husband.
just reaches
the-
up a long way and just pats Gilk on the top of the head. Well done, boy.
The old man sort of sighs, closes his eyes for a moment, and then goes, "Yes, I suppose I am. The name's Elias Dermot. I'm the mine foreman here. And if you're here to help with the town guard problem, the disappearing miners and everything, I'd greatly appreciate the help." And he sort of gestures at the mine behind him and goes, "Recently, a few of our miners disappeared. We weren't sure what happened. We thought there had been a cave-in. The veins of black iron that we sent them down to mine were gone. The cavern entrance was gone as well. We didn't know what had happened. And then miners started disappearing left and right. We didn't know what was going on. So I asked Bella if she could send some of the town guard in. Well, they haven't come out. There's a few miners running around making sure that we have some iron to send back to sell, but the more that disappear, the less people that want to work. And I can't. Well, our town depends on the mine. And
Well, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones and to put your transgressions behind us if you just let us pass.
Meanwhile, I'd also tack on any idea of what people are dealing with, since Bella's main complaint was you didn't let the guards know what they were getting in for, even though it sounds like there wasn't much to know.
The old man sort of rubs his head, rubs his forehead for a moment with one grubby hand. It's covered in sort of black dust, and sort of he thinks to himself and then goes, "All I know is that one of the men reported hearing screams down in the eastern tunnels, and then the next day, 2 of our miners never came back, and something took them, and some of the other men have reported some sort of giggling sound, a chittering of some sort. I don't know. We barely know what's down there as it is."
I've got one very specific question. Did any of the men describe what they heard as skittering?
The old man thinks to himself and says, "More like shuffling, I guess."
All right then. Okay, that's fine.
He looks at you strangely and goes, "Well, why? What do you think's down there?"
Oh, no. What I thought was down there, it's a low possibility in this climate, but there is the possibility that if it was a skittering, not a chittering or a shuffling, occasionally around this time of year, you'll get a skittering horror. Those things are bad news, but it doesn't sound like it's one of them, so we're in the clear on that one. It's probably just some, I don't know, actually. That's part of the fun of the job.
The old man sort of looks at you strangely and goes, "You're some sort of monster hunter?"
Church of Matano, Order of the Hunt.
The old man sort of stares at you blankly. He doesn't seem to have heard of... Well,
Wasn't expecting him to, but it's more just that Hunt is in the name.
He doesn't seem to have heard of you. It seems like he's not really knowing of what's going on in the world, basically.
In which case, he'll just sort of wiggle a finger in the air as if underlining an invisible word. Emphasis on the hunt part.
The old man sort of nods and goes, "Well, if you know what you're doing," and he sort of gestures to the mine behind him. He says, "I don't know what's down there. Whatever it is, kill it." And he walks away towards the mine, the sort of the covered over mine canvas area at the front.
Can Isaac hang back a little bit and just catch him after he's passed the rest of the party, but before he goes all the way back, and just catching him a little bit, just man to man, real quick. Sorry about the rest of them with the idiot husband comment. Been on the receiving end a couple of those myself, so know how it feels.
The man sort of shakes his head and goes, "I know, it's all right. She's not wrong."
Fair. It's what we get for dating the feisty ones. And he moves on to the rest of him.
Okay.
We're going left or right?
There
East.
are 3 entrances to the mine. 1 is to the north, 2 are to the east.
Well,
Take your
left
pick.
or right?
Right hand rule.
Okay.
Technically, it's more east, so yeah, sure.
Well, left or right?
Well,
Follow the right hand rule.
That's gonna go into a wall, my dude, if you do that.
yeah, the right hand is a dead end. As you walk into the mine, the first thing you see is what looks like a storage area of some sort. There are pickaxes, lanterns, a variety of different objects here and there, which contain what look like miners' possessions. This seems to be some sort of locker room just inside the entrance of the mine.
In terms of the lanterns, are
Check
they...
for gold, or I want to rummage through, find anything valuable.
Fair.
Okay. What are you...
Meanwhile, can I queue up to rummage for
what are
a
you trying to
belt-wearable
do,
lantern?
Lydia?
The camera will not let me in the mine for some reason. No matter what I do with it.
Do you see the green like lock icon on the right hand side of the far right of the screen?
I've tried the green one, I've tried the white one. The camera doesn't like the mine.
Have you tried double-clicking the character and walking them in with the arrow keys manually?
Nope, nope, that's not good. Nope, I just vanished off.
Just
Take a step
slide-
back and to the right. Take a step to the right. There you go.
Yeah, just slide the green marker down until you can see it, and then lock it. Till
Yeah,
you can-
slightly above
Also-
the white one.
Hold control when you click on your character and drag down, because your carry height is set too high. That's why you're disappearing off the screen. So click on your character to pick him up, press control, and then drag down.
And I wonder if I could see him.
Yeah, the problem is that they can't see the character at all right now.
Yeah, just drag the green slider down until everything...
Or it might be too far down. That's why they can't see them.
That is true.
Too far down and you'd just be able to see the sea.
Yeah.
I can see the mine. I can't see me anymore.
Okay, try going up very slightly from there then.
Wait, hold on. Where's the mine entrance? There it is. Right. Whoop.
Can you see any of our minis?
Nope.
All right, double click on your character portrait.
Right.
Okay,
That
and
is
then
where
take
your
the green,
character is.
take the green slider and slide
About
it.
these
up.
relative positions.
Yeah, take the green slider and slide it up just slightly until you see your character.
Nope, nothing. Nothing at all.
And you might need to reload. You might have a desync issue.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
Nothing
All right, try reloading, and we'll figure. In the meantime, we'll just loot the storage area.
Okay, roll me investigation.
Hey, V. Right, hold on.
That's an 8.
You rifle through some miners' possessions. There's a couple of old lanterns. There's some bits and pieces that look like they belong to someone incredibly poor. They obviously don't have much. You find about 8 copper and 2 relatively large pickaxes. That's about it.
I'll take the 8 copper.
I'm getting a board update field, whatever the hell that means.
Oh god.
Oh, I think Lucy's messing with stuff.
Meanwhile, could I do my investigation for the wearable, as in sort of belt hang lantern?
Yeah, I mean, you have torches, but you could definitely look for
Yes,
something.
we have torches that could be held in one of the 2 hands that are currently occupied.
Yeah, that is true. You can look for something that would work as, like, if you want to take the time, you could probably find like a lantern and hang it on your belt, tinker with it to make it fit properly without burning you. But you would need to take maybe 30 minutes, and you would need to roll me a you'd need to roll me a tinkering roll, basically to construct
Tinkering
something.
doesn't exist.
Tinkering doesn't exist because it's essentially an intelligence check.
There we go.
But you would need to take half an hour to do this, which your party might not want to do. So Bear that in mind.
At least I can. At least can I at least get the lantern as a component for it first?
Roll me investigation. See what kind of lantern you
I've
turn
been
up.
cooking it for this entire time. There we go. Other than that bit, I dropped it.
I'm also going to take one of the pickaxes.
Okay,
That's
add
13
worn
total,
pickaxe to your inventory. What was that, Isaac?
13 total, sir.
13. You look through, there's a couple of different lanterns around. One of them catches your eye. It looks relatively new. It's made of like a black sort of metal. It's got a sort of round bulb in the middle. It's relatively small, but it lets off a decent amount of light. You pick it up. It's not too heavy. It's not the best thing you could have, but it's definitely not the worst. I mean, you're in an old mine, and it doesn't seem to have had a decent amount of upkeep in the time that it's been here.
It's serviceable.
It's serviceable. It's good enough. You don't know if it'll work for hanging it off your belt, but you can certainly hang it by one hand at the moment.
Well, he'll hang it by one hand for the moment while everyone else is figuring out what they're doing. If he reckons that there's going to be a half an hour drop, then he'll probably start trying to tinker. But other than that,
you would essentially need to take a short rest to start tinkering with it. Okay. What are Ingvar and Darren doing?
Well, Ingvar's currently staring at the wall while I try to still fix the fucking camera.
I have dark vision, so I'm not hugely in need of a light. I also, of course, have the torch. So I should be fine for the moment, at least.
It might be a good idea to call it here then if Ingvar's having a problem with the cameras. We don't want to be getting into combat with camera issues.
You probably won't get into combat for another few minutes. So I wouldn't worry about it.
I'd also argue, though, we don't want to be getting into deep exploration with camera issues. Can you imagine trying to say, like, 2 steps north, 4 steps left?
Yeah, I think we should figure out the camera issues and have that ready for the next session. I think here might be a good place to stop.
Okay. Alright then. No XP for this session, I'm afraid. Because you guys haven't honestly really done anything.
No, it's fair.
But and that will be there will be a theme going forward that XP is gonna get a little bit rarer, but when it does come along, there will be more of it, sort of thing. So bear that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, no. In that instance, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call it to a close for this session. As I said, we did miss last month's session. Hopefully next month, we will be able to make it. Hopefully next month, there will be a lot more visual scenery for the mines and stuff. A lot more than there already is, I should say. I realize that I may have gone a little bit mad on the scenery.
Yep,
for this.
I can see that.
Don't worry. Eventually, you might even get to Hammerfell Keep if you guys choose to go there. That'll be very interesting because spoilers. But yeah,
That's where they forged the spoilers? Oh, wow.
but yeah, thank you, ladies
must
and
have
gentlemen,
less drag, you
for
see.
joining us this evening. It has been quite fun. I have quite enjoyed getting back into the world of Shadows of Sorcery. And for now, I'm going to call it for the evening. Call it completely, as a matter of fact. This is going to be the total of my streams for today. But I will send you over to somebody else.
Well, I'm continuing with Sliver. We're going to play some more It Takes Two. So. Well, that's going to be fun.
In which case, I shall send you over to Saren or Sliver, depending on who has the lower view count on my Twitch.
Probably me at this point.
Probably. We'll see.
Saren, like many of our roles, is on a 2.
Oh dear. But yeah, thank
Clearly,
you all
we just
very
need
much
to
for
roll
joining
better.
us this evening, everyone.
Right.
I hope you all had fun. I certainly did. And yeah, we'll be back next month. I would like, okay, honestly, I would like to do these sessions more often. But we will talk that out as a group. I would love to do this twice a month, but unfortunately, I don't think we have that amount of time. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Oh God, the ominous
Oh,
dice
God.
cloud is back. Ah! All
All
right.
right, I'm gone. See ya.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go raid Sarian. Give him some love. Give him some fun. Thank you all very much for joining us, everybody. And we shall see you all tomorrow. For probably something with lying. We'll see.
Yeah.
Have a good evening, everybody, and a very good
Oh,
afternoon.
Jesus.